two things that bring Americans together: football and food. So, why don't we combine them and make some Super Bowl classics that we all love to enjoy during the Super Bowl season? There are 3 staples in my household that go along with Super Bowl food: nachos, wings, and pigs in a blanket. So let's make them. Let's start with my favorite, pigs in a blanket. To start, I'm gonna grab my cutting board, throw some flour on top of it, spread it out with your hand, and that should be perfect. My favorite part, we need to open this up. It's like, too loud. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Okay, I got the triangles and pull them apart until you have these perfect 8 triangles. Next, you're gonna cut them into thirds as seen. One straight down here, and then cut these like this. There should be 2 big pieces as seen, and a small piece. Do this until you have 24 perfect shapes. Put your shapes to the side and cut open into these. Once you have your hot dogs laid out, pat them and dry. Once they're somewhat dry, cut them into 4ths until you have 24 perfectly sliced hot dogs. Grab your little hot dog minis and put them into the fattest point and fold these over until it gets to a shape like this. One side fully, and leave these like that. Transfer these bad boys onto the medium tray. Melt some butter using the microwave and preheat the oven to 375. So you're gonna wanna throw some butter kind of everywhere on the palette and roll each pig in a blanket over so they can get each side coated. Once these are buttered and once the oven is ready, stick these in for 15 minutes. Set the timer for it right now. After 15 minutes, let's take them out. Oh my goodness. Look at these. Let them cool until you hear no sizzling coming out of them. If it stops sizzling, add a pinch of flaky salt. Look at these magnificent looking pigs in a blanket. Bon appetit. Now let's add some ketchup. So, what do you think?
After trying it, I think it's pretty good, honestly. You did a good job with this one.
Thanks, man. It's the next day, so let's make the wings for the Bills vs. Steelers game. I forgot this yesterday, but we forgot the apron, so let's go. Let's get cooking. Before we start, this is a baked wing recipe, which is the best way instead of fried. So, pre-warning to that. Start by preheating the oven to 425. Next, you're gonna grab a baking sheet, set the rack to the side, tin foil under it, and place the rack on top. Yes. So you bring the sheet to the side and bring out your wings. Next, you are going to want to cut the wing from the drum. You can do so by looking at the chicken first of all. You can see that this shape right here is the actual wing, and this is the drum piece. So you would cut in between this, starting right here and going up. Once you have cut them up, dry them down with a paper towel. They should be super, super dry. If it helps, transport it to a towel or a paper towel and pat them down via this so both sides get dry quicker. Grab a bowl. In the bowl, you're gonna want to add 2 tablespoons of baking powder, some garlic powder, and some paprika. 3/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper. Now mix it up with a spoon. It should look something like this. Next, you're gonna want to add your wings into the bowl. Make sure you toss it all around so it gets an even coat. Next, you're gonna want to spray some cooking spray on the tray. Now, place the wings onto the mat. Next, you want to put them into the oven for 40 minutes. On medium heat in a medium saucepan, add a cup of brown sugar, a third of a cup of buffalo sauce, and a tablespoon of water. Once the sugar is dissolved, put the heat on low heat and just let it go. After about halfway through, start to flip the wings and put them back in. Put them back in for another 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, let's pull them out and see them. Super crispy in here. Pull them out and oh, look at them. Super crispy, you can eat them, sizzling. Leave them for 5 minutes to let them cool down. Listen to the crispiness on these wings. Listen to this. That's crazy. Grab another bowl and place the wings into the bowl. Now pour the sauce onto the wings. Bon appetit. That's so good. Now, it's time for the main event. The beef cheesy nachos. The nachos are very customizable, but for the base work, all you need is some tortilla chips, ground beef. In a pan, put on medium heat and place your ground beef. You're gonna wanna make sure you keep mashing it down, keep flipping it so all parts of it get brown and cooked. Use a spatula to really mash it up and get it all engraved. And spread out in the pan. You do not need any butter because the ground beef, like fat content, there's a lot of fat in it, so that'll be basically the butter for this. So let it cook for about 5 minutes until all parts of it get brown. After about 5 minutes, it should be majority brown, but there's gonna be little parts of red in there. Add 2 teaspoons of taco seasoning. Render out some of that fat by pushing the meat towards the side and cleaning up the grease with a paper towel. You're gonna want to cook it for another 5 more minutes. Once the beef is fully cooked, add the entire can of refried beans. Once it's all combined, now we gotta cut the cheese. Not actually, but with a grater, and we have Monterey Jack and spicy sharp cheddar. I've actually never done this before, so let's try it. Look at how finely grated the cheese is. So we'll need to dice up 3 Roma tomatoes. You can really use any type of knife, but I prefer the 8-inch chef's knife, but it's your choice. This just cuts the best. Place them to the corner of your cutting board. All of it. But before we cut it, we gotta wash it and cut the tips off, and you get this big onion. I prefer cutting it is just cutting it straight down the middle, and then just cut it through this because they're in layers, so you can just peel them apart. So I would cut them against the grain of the onion. I'm gonna cut a jalapeno pepper. This will also, unfortunately, make you cry. I've never actually cut an avocado before, so let's try this. If you're still watching the video, drop a follow and a like. It's very appreciated. And while you're there, comment who you think is winning the Super Bowl. Me personally, my team is not in the Super Bowl. They were 2-15, so I'm taking the Lions. Lions and Ravens meeting the Super Bowl. Lions win 35-17. Add your bean and beef mixture. Next, line your chips around the beef. Next, add all of your cheese. Finally, top it off with your jalapenos. Pop them into the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Let's pull them out. At this point also, you can add all of your vegetables. So good. There are multiple other Super Bowl snacks to enjoy, but I just picked the basic 3. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.